What's up, garbage rollers? We have some more gameplay coming at you. We are live from the Mall of America on the weekend of the community celebration. At this point in the day, several other content creators had joined us, and so you see me kind of turned talking. This was a really fun day. We got to see a lot of people that we have hung out with online, but never really gotten to interact with. At least I haven't gotten to hang out with in real life. And so this game kind of winds up slowly as Tyler and I are just visiting with some good friends on the afternoon of the community celebration that Friday. Another cool thing about this day was that Josh Massey, I believe, was already hanging out, and Justin was talking his ear off while Tyler and I kept recording. He just came over and just hung out with us for a while, and we had some really good conversations with him about the game. So I can tell you right now, I hate this immediately because I've drawn 2 Avengers, and I wouldn't play even one of those. I'm going to go ahead and throw that back. Krennic Green has been making a lot of buzz as being a pretty strong shell for a control type of deck. And once again, me being unfamiliar hurts me a little bit here. I think it just goes to show, like, Tyler's a great deck builder. This is a good Krennic Green, but it just throws me off a little bit because it's curved a little higher than I might build it. And there's just some things about the way that cards are divvied up in it that don't leave me feeling super comfortable piloting it. And that was the case with a lot of the decks that I played on this day. It's not that I wouldn't play Krennic Green. I think it just goes to show that there's a lot of room for personal expression as you're building these decks and kind of working within these archetypes. And so I have a tough choice of mulligan here. I'm definitely going to keep Death Trooper. Love that card. Definitely going to keep Regional Governor for a round 1 play. I throw down Power of the Dark Side. I'm going to prioritize bodies. I do forget what I say with Regional Governor here, but I'm pretty sure I say Scout Bike Pursuer. I know that that's one of his go-to options early, and so I think that's what I stopped him from playing. Luckily for him, he has Inferno 4, and so he goes ahead and puts that down. So Inferno 4 comes out, GI is going to stand it up, and he's going to throw 2 damage onto my base there. That could have been worse. For sure that could have been worse. 2 damage, overcomable. If it had been a Scout Bike Pursuer that he put down, then we'd be looking at 3 damage on the base here. So Tyler is also, if I caught that correctly, I think that's also a Power of the Dark Side that he's going to throw down there. You really, for sure, do not want to use Power of the Dark Side on our Regional Governor. We're going to trade some base damage here, taking me up to 4, and just putting my little measly 1 down on him. I have an Emperor's Royal Guard, and good old Regional Governor is an official, and so that's going to go ahead and give him the Sentinel keyword there, and so Fifth Brother is going to come out. But I think that guard is going to make things kind of difficult for him. He's going to stand up Fifth Brother after I claim and just trade him right into that Royal Guard. So that's all probably good sequencing for Tyler. He gets to kind of keep things on an even keel, but right now he's winning the damage race, and so that's good stuff for him. We'll see what I do. Hard to tell what I resourced there. So at this point, he's definitely got the advantage on the damage race. I have no answers in the space lane for the moment. And I'm kind of building things up slowly on the ground since he was able to use that Fifth Brother to trade. The good old System Patrol Craft starter deck card, available in packs, but present in the starter deck as kind of a baseline Space Sentinel. Tyler knows he's going to have to do something to it eventually, so He goes ahead and rams 2 damage into it. He sees Ruthless Raider and Death Star Stormtrooper. He should absolutely be keeping those on top. I don't know what he's doing, but he is going to keep the Ruthless Raider. I guess with Regional Governor on the board, Death Star Stormtrooper is kind of a tough thing to do there. And then he's going to get a nice clean trade on that System Patrol Craft with the Imperial Interceptor. So to this point, Tyler's just got answers for the things that I'm doing. And so I imagine he's probably pretty pleased with what's going on here. I do get Krennic out on 5 resources, whereas Grand Inquisitor comes out at 6. And so if I'm going to kind of turn the momentum of what's going on here, it's going to happen now. Now, crucially, Imperial Interceptor only has 2 health. It's not got a big butt on it, and so he can't get the Grand Inquisitor ready on it. And these Grand Inquisitor decks are already solid and really fun to mess with and play. But I feel like in a couple of sets, if you have more consistent options, something to like replace Interceptor that can be readied by GI to where like every single unit in his deck is able to benefit from that readying effect, I feel like could get really, really dangerous. So I've gone ahead and deployed Krennic. He has thrown out the Interceptor, and then I kind of slow play him a little bit here by putting out a little guy. And then 7th Sister comes out. He can ready her and get a nice clean kill on that Shore Trooper. So we're going to see what happens. So this is one of the better plays that I made all day. I ECL out Death Trooper. He's going to put 2 damage on 7th Sister and 2 damage on himself. That immediately buffs him because of Krennic, and then he's able to deal the last 4 damage to her. That's a pretty big deal. I was able to do that instantaneously, so that 7th Sister got no value at all. And that felt like a really good trade for me. And so it was one of the first plays that I was able to make all day that I felt really, really good about. Death Trooper in this deck with ECL is just 6 damage out of hand, which trades up really cleanly into a lot of important stuff. And so now I'm on 6 resources, so that Shore Trooper is representing 4 damage, which is pretty cool. I think I'm going to go ahead and cash that in. I'm absolutely ahead on the ground, and I've got Krennic with a nice fat Restore 2. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff happening. There goes all of Tyler's resources for a Ruthless Raider, although it doesn't look like he's spent them yet. He's going to put 2 damage on Krennic, which buffs his attack, funnily enough. And let's see what I do. I think I'm going to, yeah, I throw down the Academy Defense Walker. I don't think this is a great card. But especially in Krennic right now, it can just be exactly what you need. It's a good sized Sentinel. It takes a little bit of time to chew through it, and so he's he's gonna be able to get Grand Inquisitor out, and he's gonna be able to ready with him. But I mean, it's tough. He can't use him to ready the Ruthless Raider because it's got too much attack, and then I go ahead and pop a damage on Grand Inquisitor so that anything he does is gonna just straight up take him out. He has to go through that Sentinel first, and it would kill Inquisitor, and so that puts him in a pretty tough position, and we'll see what Tyler does here. It does put a lot of damage on the Regional Governor, but again, in Krennic, you're not super mad about that because it does buff. And until he chews through that Sentinel and does something about the Regional Governor, even though she's only got 1 health left, now she's swinging for 2, which is good because I'm wanting to kind of capitalize here on the advantage that I built up. So Krennic is damaged, so he's going to deal 3 damage and restore 2, which is a pretty nice swing. And yeah, we've kind of put Tyler in a position where he has to do something. He's got great stuff going on in space, but he's got to do something on the ground or things are going to get tough. That Palpatine is just one turn away, and that could be rough chuckles for sure. We'll see what happens. Looks like I've got too many units for him to really feel good about Power of the Dark Side. That might be the thing that he resources. Yeah. So he goes up to 7. We know he's got Baze. We know he's got Viper Probe Droid in hand. So we'll see what goes down. He's got the initiative, so he's going to get to make the first play here. Initiative, of course, super relevant for Baze, because that is the trigger to give old boy Sentinel. So he does have Sentinel. I think I remember what I do here. At least I know what I should do. What I should do is immediately crash the Academy Defense Walker into him and get him off the board before that grit can start piling up. Sentinel and grit is a really great combination of keywords. You have to attack into the unit, and when you do, you're going to buff its attack. So yeah, it's pretty crazy how nasty that combination can get. I don't think I do. I think I do something else, and I remember retroactively being a little sad that I didn't just go ahead and take out the Baze. But I could be remembering a different game. I'm in the tank here, and in hindsight, the play is very obvious. You just immediately slam the Walker into Baze to take care of that Sentinel. But we'll see what I do. It's a takedown on the Grand Inquisitor. That's not the most important thing I could have done in the moment. That's a misplay. The Grand Inquisitor... Why do I do that? What was I doing? No telling. Not my favorite thing. All right, so we do go ahead and ping off the shield and get some damage on Shore Trooper, which buffs him up to a kind of crazy 5 attack here. And you know what? At that point, it actually makes more sense for me to send the Shore Trooper into Baze, which is pretty cool. So again, I'm just so ahead on the ground lane that misplay probably isn't going to bite me. I will say though, I wanted to play Death Trooper this round, and I got some use out of his damage pinging that shield away. So that's not nothing. There's an argument to be made there, and I think I had sort of anticipated the shield on Baze there, cranking out a little more damage with Death Trooper. Death Trooper is such a great card, one of my absolute favorite cards in the set. But he does have just a ton of damage represented in space right now. When the Ruthless Raider dies, it's going to throw 2 damage on me. And it's, representing 7 damage in that lane every single round unless he does something. So I use Shore Trooper to throw another 5 damage out there. We'll see what happens. We're going to force choke Krennic, but that doesn't quite do it because of the experience token on Academy Defense Walker, which is pretty devastating, and I get a card for my trouble there. He's super almost dead, and so I go ahead and swing in, dealing 4 damage because he's super close to dead, and restoring 2 off of me. And then I think it looks like he claimed, so he's just going to have to finish off Krennic later with something. And there's Palpatine. So that's what he's doing. He's looking for a really nice, clean finish here. But I've got him at 21. And it looks like he's saying there is nothing that he can do there. Yeah, he'll get a lot of clean kills off of Palpatine, but it's not quite enough to save me from getting the kill there. So it doesn't look like we do anything else. That's where the footage ends. So that must have just been a best of 1, which is good for my pride, if nothing else. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time, everybody.